The STEM Society.
What's happening, people? My name is Cole Jackson. This is the STEM Society. Welcome back. Few things on the docket today. I'm going to dive into Pooh Shiesty dropping an album while he's still in jail and try to figure out if that was really the right move for him. We'll get to that later on in the episode. Right now, let's have a conversation about this Kendrick Lamar game beef and what we finally realized is the problem. Here recently, the Third Verse podcast, we're having a conversation about the game and Kendrick and why they don't speak to each other and what they should do, so on and so forth. And during that conversation, Top Dog from TDE called Stat Quo, and he gave his side of the story to tell us why Kendrick and Game don't beef. We finally cracked the code.
Oh, hold on. This Top Dog calling me right now. Hold on. That call was about Top was calling me to tell me that when these clips come out, we got to tell the whole. He said, I know you telling the whole story, but you got to tell, it got to be in the clip of the whole story, because he want everybody to understand Dot didn't just stop talking to him for no reason. After that video that dude shot in Compton, that changed everything.
The 100 video.
The 100 video. And I had spoke about that and remember I said that I told Wack and Game about that. And Top thing is like, hey, that gotta be it. It don't need to be perceived that Dot just stopped talking to Kendrick out of nowhere. I mean, Kendrick stopped talking to Game out of nowhere. Right. That was the thing that, you know what I'm saying, that did it. And he reminded me that some of the younger guys, when they shot that J-Rock video, they went over to Game's house to do that part. And Game when he put that mask on, he said that the label or somebody said he couldn't show his face. But 2 weeks later, he did a Hurricane Chris video.
That reveal was very disappointing and fell flat on his face for me. You could kind of tell that would be a thing, though, because you have to think about it like this. Your OG brought somebody who is in your class as low-key your rival to your hood to shoot a video. Is anybody thinking about it that way? You get what I'm saying? Somebody that was supposed to be your OG, that's supposed to look out for you, brought your rival there and made a video and is riding for this nigga harder than he's riding for you. No matter if the game put Kendrick Lamar on a mixtape or not, I get it. There's a few other things here that people aren't really talking about that I see throughout this whole story, though. One of the things that is really shocking me is the fact that people are using this 11-year beef, or whatever you want to call it, as an excuse to kick Kendrick's back in. Has anybody else noticed that outside of me? Every other podcaster or hip-hop media person is like, yo, this nigga's soft. This nigga's sensitive. This nigga's a goofy. You mean to tell me that you stopped talking to the game because he brought Drake to your hood? That's stupid. How? How is that dumb? That makes complete and total sense to me, because that just shows me that the nigga that's supposed to be my OG ain't loyal. So that leads me to the point of a lot of y'all niggas just want to kick Kendra's back in. Period, point blank. A lot of you want to find an excuse to talk bad about this nigga when he's the top guy. And that's not me glazing. That's just what I'm observing. That's what I see. These podcasters are out here shooting their shit because they know Kendrick's not going to get online and shoot back. They know that if they do this, they're probably going to get a lot more clicks and likes, because that's rage baiting is all of the thing these days, and that's how you get over. If I rage bait people by saying this shit, people are going to watch me more. And the fact that they know that the game is one of those people that will most definitely push the bullshit and make sure that people understand, like, well, some of these niggas get it and some of these niggas don't. They understand. I'm going to pull the curtain back. Whatever quote that he used that was some bullshit, which I'll get to him in a second. They know that he's easy to spark. He's easy to light up. The game is going to make sure he pushes his shit like it's WWE. And that's so fucked up. Let's look at the Kendrick Lamar side of things. His POV. Because that's what nobody's really talking about. When I say that, I mean, let's break down what how the game acts or the things that the game does. Like, I don't know, beef with a nigga since 2006 to gain attention throughout the years. We fail to realize the game has been beefing with 50 Cent since 2006. These niggas beefed. They squashed it publicly. Game brought it back up. And he's been using that as a crutch for a lot of his career. Now, don't get me wrong. The Game is a great rapper. One of the best. I love that nigga. He is one of my favorite rappers. But there's not a lot of buzz around him a lot of the time until he starts beefing with somebody, specifically throwing shots at 50. And I'm not just talking about here recently. I'm saying throughout his whole career, that has been one of his crutches, no matter what. Sorry, the truth is the truth. You can hear it in the music. You can see it in his antics, which brings me to something else. The same people who are talking shit about Kendrick Lamar not too long ago, especially during the Drake and Kendrick beef, was calling Game a fucking clout chasing ass nigga, and they was calling him goofy for starting to get in the middle of the beef as well. They was like, why you going at Rick Ross? Who called you out here to do that kind of shit? He never can get over the hump of just being a nigga who just does dumb attention grabbing shit all the time. Like, that is his MO. And that's sad because we hadn't seen another nigga who was rapping like him in a very long time. And I don't think we will. But nobody talks about the rapping. They talk about his online antics, the pictures that he does when it comes to Instagram, the calling out people randomly on some bullshit. Like, those are the things that he's known for. And Kendrick is just a new name to add to the list of bullshit that he's been doing throughout the years. He ain't even pushing his new shit. He dropped 2 new mixtapes in the past 2 years. I haven't heard anybody talk about none of that shit. And that shit is fire. But now we're going to talk about, but what we are talking about is him getting drunk at verses, or him sitting up here low-key calling out Kendrick during interviews. All of this other shit when his rapping is always put in the backseat. So yeah, when I look at it from Kendrick Lamar's point of view, who's somebody who's not very public, who's somebody who ain't outside, and somebody who don't get into rah-rah shit, yeah, I'm going to distance myself from a nigga like that too. Because he's nothing but trouble for your career at the end of the day. They want to lock in. You want him to lock in with a nigga that's going to fuck up your whole career? I'm good. And Kendrick has a pretty good career if you ask me. If you ask me, that nigga's doing great without the Game. He never needed the Game. Never needed it. So why are we so gun-ho about calling this nigga a goofy now because of what this huge reveal that Top Dog showed us? Just asking, because in no way, shape, or form was the Game going to ever make Kendrick better than what he is now. Those are facts. There's nothing that the Game could do or try to make Kendrick a better rapper. And let's be all the way honest. And I'm going to wrap this up because now I'm ranting. The Game started off with advantages. He had Dre. He had 50 cosign. He had Eminem. He had a lot of people in his corner to get him to where he is. And I'm not saying he can't rap because, again, one of the best I've heard in a long time. Still one of the best. But you can't sit up here and say he didn't have the advantages over a lot of other rappers that was in his position at that time. That nigga had everything handed to him. All he had to do was make some hits. And that's what he did. But you can't sit up here and tell me that anything that he did after he had his major run was going to help Kendrick Lamar in the long run. You can't tell me that. And if I really want to go real heavy on y'all, Kendrick Lamar's catalog is killing the Game's catalog. Yes, facts. Compare the two catalogs, bro. The Game ain't got nothing like Good Kid, Mad City in his arsenal. There's no albums that the Game has put out that is anywhere near To Pimp a Butterfly or Damn. Sorry. The facts are the facts. if you want to be honest, there's only really 2 albums that the game has that are considered classics. Documentary and Documentary 2. That's it. Everything else, okay. That's all. So again, there's nothing that the game could do or would do to be able to improve what Kendrick Lamar has done. And Kendrick Lamar still has a lot more career left. That's the thing. A lot more career left. So at the end of the day, I'm going to just say this. The fact that we got this reveal was cool. We understand things a whole lot better now than we did previously. So I get it. You know, your OG brought your rival to your hood. And now, you know what I'm saying? Now we're just like, I get it. 11 years not speaking to that nigga. I understand. You got your reasons. But let's not use these types of things to start kicking niggas back in because he's not your favorite rapper or you're secretly a Drake fan or whatever the case may be. Like, I wish that a lot more of these media personalities or these podcasters would be way more honest with y'all and just say, I don't like this nigga. And leave it at that. And I'm going to continue to be biased and say I don't like this nigga. There are way more things that the game has done that looks crazy and goofy than what Kendrick Lamar is doing. And all Kendrick Lamar is doing is just sitting back, listening. What do you think? Do you think that this whole thing got blown out of proportion? Do you think people are using this as an excuse to be able to kick Kendrick's back in? Do you even like Kendrick Lamar? I have to ask these questions because I want to know the answers. Tell me down in the comments how you feel. And if you have a different point of view than I have, let me know. Let's move the conversation to Pooh Shiesty and his latest album. Pooh Shiesty just dropped his newest album, All Eyes On Shiest, on Friday. And there's a few things there that I'm thinking about that makes me not like this. First and foremost, he released the album on 1501 Entertainment, which is Gucci Mane's label. Now, for a lot of y'all who don't know, Gucci Mane was the man who he tried to kidnap and rob, allegedly. That's why he's in jail right now. I think it's pretty strange that he would be okay with releasing new music through the label of the man you tried to rob and kidnap. I don't get it, and it doesn't make any sense to me at all. None at all. A few things that came to my mind when I first seen it was, and the first thing was Gucci Mane is running the play. I looked at it as Gucci Mane was like, this is my get back. I'm going to take all of this nigga's money, all of his royalties while he's in jail. Because whether y'all want to believe it or not, Pooh Shiesty is still a very wanted artist. People still fuck with Pooh Shiesty. I like Pooh Shiesty. I think you got some good music. So I looked at it as a money grab on Gucci's side of things. And I don't like that, but I would understand it because of what the series of incidents that's happened between these two. So I get it. But that was the first thing that came to my mind. The second thing that I thought of was, this was a big mistake. Right now, we're in the middle of a lot of trials or some hip hop trials where people are up for a lot of years. Most recently, the Yellow Beezy case. Now, there are courts who are looking to take lyrics and use them against these artists to be able to put them away forever. I would think, or you would think, that Pooh Shiesty would realize this. Because if anybody's heard a Pooh Shiesty album, you already know what he's talking about. Guns, drugs, killing, a lot of different things that's not legal. I'm scared that with this album being out right now, whether the music is old or new, because I haven't listened to it yet. So I don't know if he's even talking about the robbery or if he's talking about the kidnapping on that album or what. But whatever's on there, to me, I feel like could incriminate him and could put him away for a while if the judge decides to use his lyrics as evidence. See, this whole thing for me just feels like a setup. It feels like Gucci Mane was like, because Gucci Mane at the end of the day has the green light. This feels like Gucci Mane was like, yeah, put it out there. Because I already know what's on there. I know what's on this album. I know what could possibly happen to this man in court. And nobody's really saying this, but it might be true, depending on what's on the album. This could relieve Gucci of even having to testify against Pooh Shiesty. If it's enough stuff on there that's incriminating him on what happened between him and Gucci, Gucci could relieve himself from even testifying because he could be able to keep his street name or street code or whatever the fuck niggas is saying these days. And that's just me reaching. That's just me reaching out there. It might not even be true at all. But I never really thought that it would be, I never really thought in this current climate, in this situation, that Pooh Shiesty would say, I'm going to drop anyway.
Know what the fuck chopping, man. You know this shit still going on. We still putting on like cologne, man. This ain't the biggest, man. This is the one that's bigger than the program, man. Yeah, it just, you know, ain't shit changed but the environment, man. We got new music on the way. This shit for the fans. This shit for everybody who been waiting. You know, this shit supposed to been out. We don't give a fuck about what no nigga got to say, what no nigga think they know what's going on, especially the internet. Yeah, this shit ain't nothing, some small to a giant, man. It's a pebble to a giant, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna shake back. It ain't about how you trip up or how you stumble or how you fall. It's always how you get back up. You know, everybody can't just get back up like a nigga like. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna shake back. You know that? I'm gonna shake back. You know how this shit go. Tag me and everything. Yeah, go live to this shit. Slide in them car, whatever y'all on. You know what I'm saying? Run this shit up. Get us to #1. We got more shit in store. You know, I got this shit overload. I told y'all that shit been ready. Like, however this shit gonna go. Nigga, you know what the fuck chopping. Big brother.
So he sounds like he in good spirits, man. It sounds like he's excited for the album to drop too. Now, the first single he had dropped off this album was called Last Man Breathing. He gets into how many years his homeboy getting. He said this homeboy getting 75 years. He gonna be in here till he's 100. He said it's hard being a rapper and a murderer at the same time. It's a lot of things in that first single where it's just like super intense, and he's just like letting it all out. Let me be transparent for a second with y'all, seriously. I feel like this man's career has been fumbled since the very beginning, since he signed to 1017. I don't think he's had the right leadership in his life when it comes to what he's been doing as far as like being a rapper, because he's talented as fuck, man. Pooh Shiesty is actually a good rapper, man. I don't care what a lot of y'all say. I know y'all are mad at the YNs because they do too much or whatever the case may be. But when you listen to Pooh Shiesty music, Pooh Shiesty is actually a good rapper, man. He ain't the best. He ain't no lyrical assassin, but that nigga has good music. I don't think that he's been managed correctly. I don't think that people have actually taken the time out to mold him and show him what he's supposed to be doing. You got to be fucked up if your dad is in the middle of helping you rob and steal from a nigga, allegedly. That alone just shows what kind of lifestyles he's had so far. But I never really felt like Pooh Shiesty just had the right people around him or the right type of circle to make him better and to show him his longevity in this shit if you keep your nose clean. You feel me? Like, it just feels like everybody has taken advantage of this man's career except for him, if that makes sense to you. It just feels like nobody has said, Mo, this is not the way, nigga. Like, you don't have to do shit this way. Like, he been around so much gangster shit so long that he don't realize he the only one suffering off of this shit. Remember, his dad and his homeboy are out. They not in jail. They out on bail, bro. They out on bond. Free as a bird. You know, they got restrictions that they can't fly nowhere and shit like that. But them niggas is not in jail. Gucci's cool. Gucci is chilling at his house, waiting to see what's going to happen when the trial comes. The only nigga that's sitting behind bars is Pooh Shiesty. That's the only person that's suffering from this whole situation, and nobody really gives a fuck. Did he do some dumb criminal activity? Yes. Yes. He did not criminal right at all. But did he have anybody in his corner to show him different? Or did he have anybody who, when he got out the last time, to tell him, you can't get into any more shit. You got to keep it straight and narrow, keep your nose clean. Let's make this music, let's make this money, and let's go. Like, who was there for that? Everybody's going to prosper off of this nigga but him. Everybody. And when the child comes, nobody's going to prison for as long as he's going to go but him. His dad's not going to do no time. I'm telling you what I know. His dad ain't going to do no time. The homeboy that was with him with this whole situation was going down ain't going to do no time. Gucci ain't going to give a fuck. He going to start signing other niggas. The only person that hurts from this whole situation is Pooh Shiesty. God honest truth. So when I see that he decided to drop this album, which again, I haven't heard, but I am going to listen to, but I already know what's in it. And dropping this album before his trial, to me, was just not the smartest thing in the world. Because at the end of the day, if the prosecution wants to use this against him, they probably will. If he's going on some real gangster type shit, if he's really trying to make people, if he's really trying to talk the shit that he's been talking in past albums, that man's done. He's finished. Even if it's not relating to the robbery and kidnapping, it's done. They'll find something. That's what they about to do to Yellow Beezy. Yellow Beezy about to get the same treatment. So who's to say that this is not going to happen to Pooh Shiesty? I just feel like we just need more people out here to kind of help some of these young niggas, man, to help them move in a different way. And he never got that chance. And now he's going to pay for it. It sucks. What do you guys think? Was it a smart move for Pooh Shiesty to drop his newest album during this time of him being in jail before his trial? Do you feel like whatever happens to him, he earned and he deserves? Whatever you feel like, let me know down in the comments. Before I get out of here, I have a Cole's Corner. There are some rappers who are out here copping pleas and they're finally coming clean and telling the truth. Last episode, I had a conversation about Tyga, AI, and him getting exposed for using AI on his newest album, Starface. Now, Tyga had not spoke up at this time. Everybody was just assuming that he used AI. Here recently in an interview, Tyga decided to come clean and tell everybody what really happened. This is what he said in this interview. We definitely use AI as a tool. And I know people are going to be mad about me saying this, but it's where technology is going. He went on to say, it's no different than when Auto-Tune came out. Some people were opposed to it, but real artists took to it and used it. Finally, in the interview, he said, I never spoke on this with anybody because I always felt like it's similar to a magician explaining how he does his tricks. A magician, nigga? A magician, nigga? The fuck? Tyga, you got caught lying. If you even lied about it at all, bruh. You got caught. You got caught. Now, on the last video that I had, I said, if he would have led with, I used AI on this album, tell me what you think, this would have been received a whole lot better. Now this nigga got a backtrack, he got a tap dance, he got a moonwalk to let people know, I used AI. But he used this whole, well, it's new technology. We got to stay with the times, man. It's just like auto-tunes. There's a big difference between auto-tunes and AI, my nigga. It's a big difference. I don't have enough time on this episode to break it all down for you, but just know that is a huge difference between AI and auto-tunes. The fact that this nigga is moonwalking this whole thing back is the funniest shit in the world because Tyga. If you would have just said you needed AI, we would have understood. You ain't cranking them out like you used to, my nigga. You're not making the hits like you used to. So we get it. You need a little bit of help. Which brings me to somebody else who decided to finally come clean. Fenix Flexin finally told the truth about his song Rubbers. This is what he had to say about AI on his song. Never said I didn't use AI. I said it had nothing to do with the recording process. I didn't even know what the app was till we mixed it and everybody started commenting. Ain't nothing wrong with using new technology as a tool. Keeping up with the times or get left behind, you know? You're lying. You're lying. There's an interview out there where you said you didn't use AI on the Rubber song, but I'm not even going to find that clip. Can't find it anyway. You did a whole fucking sit down with Neon during a stream to prove it. Now, I do have that clip. Watch this.
Swiping cards and stacking chips. That's all you sinking shit.
Bro, and you know what's crazy? During my intro, I played it, and they're like AI. They keep saying the AI shit, but now they're gonna hear you, so they can't say that
Left
anymore.
me standing in the pouring rain. Now I bought a heavy diamond chain.
And you just be freestyling off the dome.
Bigger. Yeah, off the dome.
Off the dome.
And
He's gonna write my shit too because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I be playing around with the homies all day. We be talking in like the UK accent, like we wanted to mind them. You know what I mean? Me and baby together, we like kamikaze. We going crazy. Hey, nigga. Me and all my niggas ride around through the town. We chop it down, nigga, like with some crazy shit. Choppers on us looking like some Navy sticks. Hey. 2023, my house got raided quick. No, let's go hear it out. I need a break. Order some food or something.
Should we hear it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
See? Told you. Here's my thing. Because this is going on far too long. If you want to use AI on your music, bruh, take a page from Timbaland. Stand 10 toes on that shit. Timbaland said, fuck everybody who has something to say about me using AI. I'm using the shit. Not only am I going to use AI, I'm going to steal your music, train my AI, and make a fucking R&B artist 10 times better than who y'all like. And stood on it. And still standing on it. Timbaland was like, y'all can suck my dick. I'm going to use this shit regardless. And whether you like it or not, he stood by it. He's still using AI. He's still training his AI artist. He's still doing all of that shit. So we just need to shut the fuck up. But have some fucking balls, bro, and just stand on what you gonna do. If that's what you want to do it. Fenix Flexin especially. Because, nigga, you have been sliding around doing podcasts and doing interviews and letting niggas know, oh, nah, I don't know what y'all, AI, nigga. Yes, you. You guilty as fuck. Let's look at it from another point of view. And I'm going to say this and then we can end the episode. Eventually, a lot of artists, especially if you're signed to a label, won't have a choice. Right now, there's so many different deals going on with labels and AI companies and how they're going to implement this stuff. A lot of this stuff is not going to be a choice-driven thing. It's going to be a part of your contract. Now, whether you get to decide how much or how less you can use AI on your album depends on the label probably. But we're moving into a space, especially going into 2027, where if you're signed to a label, AI is going to be a part of your music because that's where the industry is moving to. Now, I got to be real with you. I don't like it one bit, and I feel like people should always have a choice. But major labels are going to make sure that they're going to get paid one way or the other. And if that means doing a deal with the devil, then that's what they're going to do. They're going to make a deal with the devil. And when you sign to the nigga who signed to the nigga who signed to the nigga, you ain't got a lot of say-so about nothing. Say so. Sorry. You don't have a lot of say-so about nothing. You shut the fuck up. You put this AI shit on your fucking music and you go about your way. A lot of people just ain't going to have a choice coming up in the next few years. Now, how music does is going to determine whether the labels and the industry is going to continue to hang on to this shit. But you have so many big time names who are just like, I can just make an artist through AI and I don't have to hear anybody saying, well, I got this woman pregnant, or I'm an introvert, I don't know how to tour, or it's a lot of shit that these labels and these executives are tired of hearing, and they know that they can shut that shit up by just doing the AI side of things. That's going to take the soul out of music. That's just going to take music away in general. So at the end of the day, it's going to be here regardless. They're not going to tell us. We're just going to have to start seeing AI, to see the tags that saying AI generated or there's AI in this music. It's a sad part of the industry, but that's what's going to happen. So for any artist out there who just feels like they're going to use AI on their music, just stand 10 toes on there, grab your balls and say, this is what it is. Because 9 times out of 10, you'll be surprised how many people is for that shit than against that shit. Straight up. Straight like that. More people that really rock with it than you think. Right now, it's just a lot of online discussion. There's a lot of people who got online outrage because they're trying to just pick a side and they want to be on the right side of history. But you know who the people are who fuck with it and who don't. It's a thing. I'm just happy these niggas got caught lying. That's why I wanted to do this cold corner, because these niggas got caught on some bullshit and it's hilarious. Well, that's all the time I got for y'all today, man. Thank you for joining me for another episode. If you like what I do, because what I do is not very easy, pay me in a like, pay me in a comment, but support me with a subscription. Grow my platform as big as the sun so I don't have to use AI. Please. I want to keep this as organic as possible. Thank y'all for joining me, man, and I'll catch you on the next episode. I love you. Peace out.
She just kind of fucking with my money, but I meant everything I said, and I say it again.